Welcome to another installment of Turn Up the AC Hot Takes with Reason on a solo edition. As you can see on the screen, David Benavidez did his thing. He is the winner over Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade by stoppage after round 6. Man, what a fight it was. Let's talk about it, man. Action packed for the whole time. For every second, every minute of the fight, it was action. We got what we wanted. Two warriors standing toe to toe to find out who was the better man. And on this night, it was David Benavidez. Man, first of all, I want to give all the credit in the world, all the respect in the world to Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. I'm seeing a lot of comments, throughout the YouTube, throughout, the boxing media. People is trying to say that Andrade is a horrible fighter, that he's a hype job, all this negative stuff about him. But in reality, you got to give that man credit. He took the fight against David Benavidez, trying to chase greatness, trying to put himself in position to be a mandatory for Canelo Alvarez. And to be honest, Boo Boo actually surprised me a little bit with how he performed. And I mean that in a positive way. Now, before we get into David Benavidez and what's next and all that, like I said, I'm gonna start with Demetrius Andrade. Like the way he came out in this fight, I said in my prediction he's gonna have to win rounds early, and get out in front of Benavidez. But and he did that. I thought, to be 100%, I thought Demetrius Andrade actually fought the perfect fight to start the fight. I think he was doing everything he had to do to win the fight. He put the pressure on Benavidez. We never really see Benavidez on his back foot. Really, he's always walking his opponent down, but initially he wasn't able to do that because he had to figure out the slick fighter in Demetrius Andrade. And Andrade was throwing, I love what he was doing. He came out ready to fight. He came out, on some I'm gonna bully the bully. And first 3 rounds, I thought he was doing a great job. He was throwing a lot of punches, doing a lot of great combinations. I think he might have even caught Benavidez off guard a little bit with how many, combinations he was throwing, because we ain't never really seen Andrade, put together combinations like that. But, fighting someone like David Benavidez, you have to do that because he's going to do the same to you. And if you let him relax, you let him start to walk you down, he's going to start to punish you. So I really was happy to see what Andrade was doing early in the fight. And to be honest, I can see him winning those first 3 rounds. Now, I gave Andrade at least 2 of the first. I think I gave him the first 2, and the third I thought was really close. The third round, towards the end of it, is where it looked like Benavidez started to get it going a little bit. And yeah, so like easily, I thought Andrade was winning after 3 rounds. But we know this is a 12-round fight, not 3 rounds. So come the 4th round, I think the shots started to wear onto Demetrius Andrade because he was getting hit hard shots from Benavidez. He took some shots to the body that I think are the reason why Andrade slowed down, because those body shots from Benavidez are vicious, man. He throws some hard power shots. Now, I've said it before, Benavidez is not going to knock you out with one punch. It's the accumulation of what he does. And I think that's what caught up to Andrade. He's probably never taken shots from somebody like he took, on fight night versus Benavidez. Benavidez is throwing hard right hands, hard left hands to the body up top. I thought, honestly, Benavidez fought the fight I thought he was going to fight too. It took him a couple of rounds to figure out the style. But once he did, and once he was able to put hands on Demetrius Andrade, he broke him down, shortly thereafter. So yeah, once again, before we move on from Demetrius Andrade, I just want to say, man, shout out to that guy. Shout out to Demetrius Andrade. I've been a fan of his for years. I love watching him fight. Slick fighter. I know he's coming back for some more smoke with somebody. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes next at 168. Because to me, he just faced the baddest dude at 168, and that's David Benavidez. And he went, he gave it to him everything he could. It just wasn't enough, and Benavidez was able to come out on top. So salute to Demetrius Andrade. Looking forward to what's next from you. Maybe a Caleb Plant, a Jamal Charlo, something like that. Shoot, hey, maybe even a David Morrell if Benavidez gets the Canelo fight and Morrell's free. That would be crazy too. I think we're gonna see some more good fights coming from Demetrius Andrade. I don't think he's done, but I hope he takes some time off, fully recovers, and hopefully we'll see him mid next year in 2024. Now on to David Benavidez, the Mexican Monster. Man, what a performance! Probably the best David Benavidez we've seen ever. And that's saying a lot because he's had some wonderful performances in the past. I think this fight, the way it turned out, the dominant fashion that he ended up winning in, I think we have to consider David Benavidez on that list of potential fighters of the year because he had a great performance against Caleb Plant. All top of the food chain in the 168. He took out Caleb Plant, and now he just stopped Demetrius Andrade, who was previously undefeated. David Benavidez, man, the sky's the limit for him. I've been saying it for a couple years now to anybody I talk boxing with. I've always thought this is the guy that's going to beat Canelo. This is the guy that he potentially can be number one pound for pound someday in the very near future. He's got all the skills. He's got the power. He's got combinations. Underrated defense. The sky's the limit for him. I thought he did amazing. He was piecing up. I thought his accuracy in this fight, his efficiency with what he was throwing punches, was amazing. He was tagging Andrade. Andrade had some good movement, but he was still connecting. He was still finding, spaces to land his shots. And that big right hand he landed in the fourth round definitely changed everything in this fight. From there, he was able to just slowly, break down Andrade and ultimately stop him after 6 rounds. Now he's still the WBC interim champ. He's been in this position for about 2 years now. After the fight, he called out Canelo Alvarez, like we all knew. This fight got to be next, man. Canelo versus Benavidez. It has to be next. I mean, yeah, Munguia and Canelo would be an entertaining fight. But does anybody think Munguia actually has a chance to beat Canelo? Like, let's be real. Canelo's gonna make work of him too. It'll be competitive. It'll be an interesting fight, early on. But it'll be a matter of time before Canelo starts to walk down Munguia and ultimately knocks him out. Like, I don't want to see that fight. PBC and Canelo have 2 fights left. What I think should happen, if you're asking me, I think Canelo should get into negotiations with Benavidez for Cinco de Mayo 2024. And since he has 2 fights left on his deal with PBC, put into the contract a rematch clause for September, just in case he loses. Now, a one-sided, one-way rematch, only for Canelo if he loses, because he's the guy given the shot. Benavidez, this would be your one shot to get him. No rematch clause for you. At least not initially going into the fight. Not worked into the contract. Because if Benavidez wins, Canelo's definitely going to want his rematch, try to get his belts back, and that could set up, for a September showdown. So we could get this fight twice next year. Potentially, if Canelo Alvarez is ready to make negotiations with David Benavidez. Now, if Canelo chooses to go elsewhere to fight a Munguia or whoever else is out there, potentially on the plate for Benavidez could be a David Morrell. Um, do I want to see that fight? I do, but not before Canelo and David Benavidez. Like, they got to go first. Morrell, he's gonna make his own lane. He's still very young. Still got. I mean, I don't even think he has 15 fights yet. Like, he's still young. He's still got room to grow. What he should do is look at Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, somebody like that. Beat one of them, and now you're talking, David Morrell. Now we're talking about you in this light of one of these top two guys facing you. Yeah, so I really think Benavidez and Canelo should be next. I mean, if you don't want to see this fight, I really don't understand it, because these are the two best names at 168. This fight has pound for pound implications. You know, so we'll see what happens from here on out. I hope this fight does happen between Canelo and Benavidez. I mean, if Benavidez doesn't see the Canelo fight happening next or ever, he's been vocal in the past about potentially moving up to 175 and facing Dimitri Bivol. That would be an incredible fight. There's a lot of options out there for David Benavidez. Congratulations to him. I just wanted to drop my thoughts a little bit on his performance, how that he won, and what I think should be next for him. And that next should be Canelo Alvarez. That fight should be next. And as the fans, as boxing media, as fans of the sport, that's what we got to push for. That's what we should be calling for. I'm going to be doing some more videos in the future leading up to May, calling for this fight. And hopefully, as consumers of the sport, fans of the sport, we get what we want and we get that fight. So until next time, this has been Reason. Turn up the AC Hot Takes. Go ahead and comment, hate, debate, whatever you want to do. We appreciate it all. Until next time, we're out.